Well, here we are, episode 45 of the Theoreticus Heresy. We're going to see how this all ends. I had some differences of opinion with some of the decisions made in this. I've made that perfectly clear. I have no dispute with the way that this has gone about, how he's been wrapping up everything and wrapping up all the things that have happened. Once again, you treat curs like this, I really like you. In any case, here we go. 45.
Horus began to explain the Codex Astartes. He reasoned that the Imperium could not risk having a single man command the power of an entire legion. The Imperium could not risk such a cataclysm from ever happening again.
Where's Karn?
The legions will be broken down and restructured into chapters. Perturabo nodded solemnly, understanding the Lord Commander of the Imperium's reasoning behind his actions.
Okay.
Mortarion disagreed, saying that by breaking down the legions, they would be weakened, unable to defend humanity from the Xenos threats, or if ever the traitors returned. Horus allayed his fears, saying he understood his brother. Horus stated that he did not wish to do this, but regardless of his personal feelings on the matter, it was the right course of action. Mortarion relented, but remained vocal about his protests. The Lunar Wolves would be split into 3 chapters. The Lunar Wolves, the Sons of Horus, and the Black Templars.
Okay.
The Word-Bearers would split, becoming the Word-Bearers along with their brothers of the Exorcists. The Death Guard would also be split in 2, with the Death Guard being joined by the Dusk Raiders.
Makes sense.
The World Eaters would sire 2 chapters in addition to their parent World Eaters, the Devourers, and the Warhounds.
Makes sense.
The Thousand Sons would have but 1 successor chapter, the Blood Ravens.
Okay.
The Iron Warriors would sire the Hammers of Terror and the Steel Serpents. The Night Lords would give rise to the Midnight Claws and the Kakarodons.
I like
The
what you
Alpha
did there.
Legion would birth the Beta and Delta Legions. The Emperor's children would give rise to the Red Scorpions and the Doom Eagles. The Loyalist Ultramarines would form their own chapter and be reborn as the Redemptionists.
I like
while
that.
the Loyalist Space Wolves would be renamed the Frost Hunters.
I like that too.
Each chapter would go forth on a rite of conquest to find a new homeworld and build their forces until they achieved fighting strength. The Iron Warriors' homeworld would be relocated to Terra in honor of their valiant defense of the palace.
I like that.
Perturabo was humbled, but declined the honor. As Horus was Lord Commander of the Imperium now, it was only right for one of his chapters to become the Guardians of Terra.
Okay.
Horus gave the idea some thought, and agreed, naming the Black Templars the Praetorian Guard of Terra. The matter then turned to Lorgar, and his spread of the religion of the God Emperor. His brothers argued that their father was against such ideals, that his memory should not be tainted with lies. Lorgar countered, however. The Emperor was a sign of hope for the people, of humanity as a whole. The people of the Imperium had witnessed the greatest war in humanity's history since the Age of Strife. They needed an icon of hope, lest they fall back into anarchy and brutality. And faith in the God Emperor provided this hope. Ever the skilled orator, Lorgar persuaded his brothers to allow him to set up the cult of the Emperor as an official state religion to bring unity to mankind under their father's golden light.
Yeah.
Founding what would become known as the Ecclesiarchy. And thus, the heresy came to an end, and mankind took its first steps towards an uncertain future, without the Emperor to ever walk amongst them again.
I understand why Lorgar would go after this, but without certain Primarchs being there, I can almost see Lorgar, getting this point across. Episode 46, here we go. It always feels weird when you come to an end of a series.
10,000 years have passed since the Great Heresy. Mankind suffers from onslaughts from its many enemies, the traitor legions, demons, and a multitude of aggressive and dangerous xenos species. The loyal Primarchs who survived the heresy have long since vanished, either dead or disappeared into the unknown without a trace. Upon Terra, the Emperor sits upon the golden throne, his undying yet decaying flesh forever linked to it. He has remained silent for millennia, and more than ever, the people need his guiding light. His bodyguards, the Legio Custodes, continue their eternal vigilance over their fallen master. For the first time in centuries, the main doors to the throne room creaked open, dust spilling from the carved nooks and crannies of its exquisite design. A pair of strangers, giants of men, slowly entered. One clad in an ornate and ancient set of heresy-patterned power armor, carrying a great double-handed power sword, a melter weapon built into the hilt. The other in an equally ancient set of cataphracti-patterned Terminator armor, wielding a pair of ornate lightning claws with wrist-mounted combi bolters. All traces of the Imperial Aquila had long been removed from the armor. As the strangers slowly approached the Golden Throne, they activated their weapons, sending crackling arcs of lightning from their blades. The Custodes took up a combat stance and demanded them to stand down and be executed for this heresy. The strangers remained silent as they approached, and the Custodes moved to attack. Their movements were blindingly fast despite their sheer size, their movements blocking the strikes of the Custodes' guardian spears before countering with their own blades, stabbing, slashing, disemboweling and decapitating all who dared stand in their way. Soon, all the Custodes lay dead on the floor, and the Captain General, Constantine Valdor, himself lay against the very foot of the Golden Throne, his innards spilling out over the reflective floor, and feeling the very life ebb away from his body. As he looked up in pain at the strangers, he asked one last question. "Who are you?" The power-armored stranger sheathed his blade and removed his helm with a hiss of pressurized air. The Captain General of the Custodes looked on in sheer horror at the sight before him. This stranger had raven black hair, piercing red eyes, and skin like marble. But in all other regards, he looked almost identical to the Emperor himself when he walked amongst mortal men. The stranger then spoke. "We are the lost and the purged, and we have come to reclaim what is rightfully ours."
Ooh. Ooh. Very nice. I like that ending. Oh my god. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was really good. Well, that's it. That is the Theoreticus Heresy. And the Emperor dies in the end. I am surprised. I was surprised about that. Now, one of those was definitely Corvus Corax, unless I am completely mistaken. But in any case, this was fun to watch. You hear that in the background? Critters are waking up. They want out of their kennels. I'm going to go handle that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm going to go handle pugs. See you guys next time.